Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. The babbling creek whispered a bubbling lullaby as the middle-aged fisherman pushed his way upstream through a stand of willows. He'd come to the forested valley where Pincher Creek and Castle River meet to fish and soak in the forest's peace. His mind filed away concerns about work responsibilities and financial goals, distracted by an array of emerald and gray colors. The willow branches played along his arm as he pressed past them in a rhythm that only Mother Nature can compose. Off to his left he could see a strange rustle in the willows as an enormous mud-brown shape emerged. The melody of the willows turned into a chaotic cacophony of violence. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. The South Castle River in southwestern Alberta lies just outside the small community of Beaver Mines. This region is nestled within the foothills of the Canadian Rockies, a rugged landscape shaped by glacial valleys, spruce-covered slopes, and icy mountain streams. The area is remote but popular among outdoorsmen, particularly fly fishermen and backcountry campers seeking solitude in nature. The climate around Beaver Mines features cool wet springs and early autumns, with snow arriving in October and not fully retreating until May. Summers are short, with daytime temperatures averaging in the high 60s to low 70s Fahrenheit, though they can dip dramatically at night. Among the common trees in the area are white spruce, lodgepole pine, and quaking aspen. Shrubs include willow, juniper, and buffalo berry, particularly important in the diet of bears. Edible berry bushes such as huckleberry, serviceberry, and red elderberry thrive in the region's open meadows and forest edges. Large herbivores like moose, elk, and mule deer roam the forests and riverside trails. Predators in the region include wolves, cougars, black bears, and notably grizzly bears, which descend to lower elevations in late summer in search of berries, fish, and any accessible calories. On the morning of August 22, 1998, 40-year-old Christopher Kress had set out to fish for trout near the Pincher Creek and Castle River confluence. He was from the nearby town of Tabor and enjoyed fishing and escaped to the rivers any time he had the chance. His professional life was spent at the oil fields, where he had worked since he was 18 years old. He was beloved by his family and friends for his work ethic and reliable character. It isn't clear if Christopher was packing a firearm or bear spray on his fishing trip, and it was not indicated that another person or a dog accompanied him. He'd traveled to the area with several friends, but decided to go fishing by himself for some alone time. What Christopher didn't know was that the bears in Alberta were facing a major dilemma. He'd likely heard of the terrible drought causing one of the worst years for wildfires on record, but wasn't aware of the implications. The last major wildfire problem Alberta faced was back in 1980. The drought caused a wildfire season that started unseasonably early on April 26th. Fires rampaged through the area, destroying 1,660,548 acres of forest and grasslands. Berry crops were destroyed, and all forms of wildlife were displaced. With the lack of food in burned habitats and greater competition in intact habitats, black bears and grizzly bears turned their frustrations toward humans. That summer and fall, there were a total of 10 bear attacks, with 7 injuries and 3 fatalities in Alberta alone. 1998 had started ominously similar to 1980. Once again, a drought parched the province, and wildfires broke out. Over 1,439 different wildfires engulfed Alberta, and by the end of the fire season, the province had lost 1,329,427 acres of grasslands and forests. In a single fire season, wildlife habitats were lost at a rate of 7 times the normal rate. Again, wildlife were displaced from their preferred habitat and concentrated into unfamiliar and overburdened ones. Now, a grizzly bear can really put it down during fall and summer when it comes to eating berries. They've been recorded as consuming 80 pounds of various berries each day as they strive to gain 30% of their body weight in only a few months before hibernation. Given that population increases do not always correspond to environmental stressors, it isn't difficult to understand the awkward and perilous position bears can end up in, and consequently, the awkward and perilous position humans visiting the wilderness can find themselves in. Around midday, a group of hikers was slogging along the trail that parallels the Castle River. As they approached a strange mound near the trail, they could see the mutilated remains of Christopher Kress. His lifeless body lay beneath a pile of soil and duff scraped up from around his corpse. Recognizing that they were standing near a grizzly bear's food cache, they fled immediately toward the nearest campsite they could find. As they stumbled from the brush and stuttered the horrific details of their findings, the camp occupants listened and fell into shock. The hikers had somehow stumbled right into Kress's camp and were now informing his friends of his death. Now is the time most people would beat a hasty retreat and call in authorities to recover Christopher's remains and deal with the man-killing grizzly, but not Kress's friends. One of the fishermen grabbed a firearm and headed off in the direction of his friend's corpse. Come hell or high water, he would recover the remains of his friend and bring the grizzly who killed him down. After covering the distance powered by vengeful focus, Kress's friend did what he set out to do. He found Christopher's remains and somehow ran into the bear as it returned to feed on his corpse. Dispatching the man-killing grizzly was a decision that was made in the blink of an eye and completed in the pull of a trigger. No need to set up traps or evacuate forced visitors. This bear's reign of terror was brief and brought to an end quickly. The authorities arranged for an investigation into the causes and circumstances of Kress's attack. The necropsy performed on the bear didn't yield much information other than the bear was a large male in good condition. Portions of Kress's corpse were recovered from the bear's digestive system, and his DNA was recovered from its body, proving it was the bear that had killed and consumed him. As for the bear's motives in killing Kress, it depends on the precise conditions of the confrontation. If the bear had stalked upon Kress while he was fishing, then killed him, the predatory motives of the bear would be easily discerned. But if they surprised each other along the river, and the bear acted instinctively and defensively, then its motives may have leaned more in the defensive direction. One thing is clear, whether it killed Kress out of defense or stalked him, the fact that it cached his body indicated it had plans on consuming him. There were no reports of a cached animal carcass nearby, which negates the possibility of the bear defending a food source. The grizzly was a male, so it clearly was not defending cubs from a perceived threat. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to pictures, notes, and episodes. And the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. One of the most important correlations is that Kress's fatal attack occurred the same year and under similar environmental circumstances as the fatal attack discussed on this channel involving 22-year-old Lorna Weaver and fisherman Ernest Coho. I've linked to their episodes in the video article below in the related videos section for your review. As of the late 1990s, the grizzly bear population in Alberta was estimated at approximately 700 to 800 individuals. Alberta covers a total area of 250,000 square miles, which equates to roughly one grizzly bear per 300 square miles, though densities are higher in mountainous southwestern regions near Waterton and Banff National Parks. Between 1970 and the late 1990s, Alberta recorded over 30 grizzly attacks on humans, with at least 5 confirmed fatal attacks during that period. These figures reflect the continued overlap of human recreation and grizzly habitat in the province. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Do you think there's a link between wildfires and bear attack frequencies, or is there more to it? Does the carrying capacity of a habitat that is managed by human policy need to factor in possible catastrophic changes? Did the government do a satisfactory job of educating the public as to the danger presented by desperate bears due to environmental stressors? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.